Hi, and welcome to Crypto Coach. To learn about cryptocurrencies, we've built the most popular crypto educational channel on YouTube. In this video, we'll go through the basics of Bancor, including what it is, how single-sided liquidity staking works, and the absurdity of impermanent loss insurance. Let's get down to business, shall we? First, a little introduction to Bancor. The Bancor ICO was launched in 2017 and raised $153 million in ETH in less than 3 hours. As the first decentralized automated market maker, BNT, a token connected with Bancor, was one of the original ERC20 tokens. Now, I'm not here to go into the history of Bancor or explain the workings of AMMS or DEXs in any detail. In this video, I'm going to introduce some new concepts that I haven't previously discussed on the channel. In this video, I'm going to talk about 3 things related to Bancor's current version 2, which is scheduled to be upgraded to version 3. Before continuing, it is imperative that these concepts be well articulated. Single-sided staking is number 1. Bancor permits single-sided staking, so that's the first thing worth noting. Some tools need you to provide a single asset, such as Chainlink, and then the protocol takes half of it to sell to ETH before providing both the Chainlink and ETH to an exchange liquidity pool. This is not something that Bancor performs since they are aware that it does something that not every liquidity provider wants to do. In order to participate, you must put half of your assets into the pool. To the contrary, the Chainlink Network's members are committed to keeping only linked tokens and are unwilling to give up their position in order to allow liquidity. True single-sided staking is the solution Bancor uses to address this issue. The question is, how does it all work? Here's a look at how Bancor's liquidity pools work. The pool needs certain linked tokens, which you initially provide. Bancor actually means a new token called BNT to fill the other half of the pool when you do that. Bancor will actually issue 15 new BNT tokens if you give them $100 of link and if BNT at the same time was worth $2 each, so that the pool is now 50% link and 50% BNT. So, you've only provided a link that are only exposed to the connected tokens that you've supplied. I know what you're thinking. Doesn't that make the market go crazy with inflation? They are making BNT tokens almost as quickly as US dollars. You might be right about the second half though. But when someone takes their link tokens out of a pool, the BNT tokens that were made by the protocol are taken out and burned, meaning that they are gone for good. In reality, they don't really ever get used. Also, trading fees earned by the protocol are burned when the user withdraws their stake. Say you wanted to use Bancwood pools to trade a link to ETH, for example. Link to BNT and then BNT to ETH makes BNT one among the most liquid and most traded tokens in the crypto world's history. Since all transactions go through Bank, the BNT tokens acts as a fee generator for both users and the protocol. Another benefit is that all traders pay a fee for their transactions. As a result, the Bancor protocol is entitled to half of the trading fees generated because it created half of the liquidity for each pool. BNT has traded an enormous amount, and this means that the funds in the protocol's treasury are expanding rapidly. You may be wondering, where does all this money go? Impermanent loss insurance is the next excellent Bancor feature that we'll discuss. Bancor's impermanent loss insurance is a distinctive feature. The concept of impermanent loss can be difficult to grasp if you don't understand it. Bancor takes a percentage of all yields received by users who provide liquidity, in addition to a charge that traders pay to trade on the platform, and this percentage is used to develop the insurance fund. Now, just like vehicle insurance, you pay a monthly fee to ensure that you'll be covered in the event of an accident. A liquidity provider's trading fees are effectively deposited into a pool that protects them and their fellow liquidity providers against temporary loss while using Bancor. Additionally, Bancor uses fees made on its own BNT supplied to its pools, as previously noted, in order to help pay off insurance claims. It then burns any extra fees for BNT to keep the total supply in check after paying for insurance. BNT supply has been deflationary since mid-2021, thus this is something to keep in mind. The following is an example to help you better understand how the insurance works. Suppose you have 100 Link tokens to offer as a means of liquidity. Some of your Link earnings will accrue over the course of the following year. You should have more than 100 Link tokens at this point. That's not quite right. Let's assume that the price of Link has significantly outperformed the market as you had hoped. Your principal deposit of Link will be sold off at a discount for the paired assets, resulting in your cumulative stake being worth less than if you had simply kept the paired assets in your wallet and maintained full exposure to your Link tokens. For whatever reason, even though you were anticipating to withdraw more Link from the pool, you are only left with 95 links because of impermanent losses and the permanent losses on your principal linked deposit. Even if it sounds complicated, it just implies that you lost 5 links as a result of an impermanent loss. All forms of DEXs are affected by this, and it occurs frequently. It's an unusual deal between the bank and the liquidity suppliers, to say the least. If you give us liquidity, we promise you'll never have to worry about getting back less length than you invested. At least the amount you originally deposited will be returned to you, plus any trading fees and rewards you've accrued in your stake. However, liquidity providers are only required to pay 15% of their earnings to Bancor in return for this service. So, if you gave 100 Link tokens and earned 10 Link tokens as incentives, you'd have to pay Bancor's Communal Insurance Fund 1.5 Link tokens. Basically, you'll be entitled to a refund of at least 108.5 Link tokens. For the other part, fees from the BNT it gave to its own pools are used to pay for Bancor's insurance premiums. Put it in another way, BNT is buying liquidity from Bancor's pools. In addition to matching user deposits and supporting single-sided liquidity, the liquidity generates protocol BNT and non-BNT tokens, which help fund the protocol's insurance payouts. It also enables single-sided liquidity. Bancor can cover insurance payouts without issuing any additional BNT tokens if the total fees earned by the protocol provider exceed the protocol's impermanent loss payout. This means users may stake with confidence, knowing that they'll always get back at least 100 tokens that they place, in addition to earning trading fees on the tokens they've already staked. Following the example, if an LP deposited 100 Link tokens, they will always be owed and be able to withdraw at least 100 Link tokens plus the fees that have collected on their investment. Bancor may not be able to return all of your tokens in Link if the pool has experienced a high amount of impermanent loss and it has not earned enough Link trading fees. Instead, Bancor will provide you with as many Link tokens as feasible before paying out the rest of the insurance with BNT tokens of equal value. Now, just as with vehicle insurance, if you total your car, the insurance company will give you enough money to purchase a new one. With its insurance concept, Bancor is essentially doing the same thing. To cover the insurance payout, they just create more BNT tokens. With both a single-sided staking and permanent loss insurance, you can earn more Link while being protected from any permanent loss you might suffer on another platform's pool, while providing Link tokens and passively doing so with full exposure to the token's upside. Please be aware that the insurance feature presently requires at least 100 days of liquidity to gain full coverage. In Bancor 3, I've heard that full insurance cover would be supplied as soon as a customer provides liquidity. The last thing I want to say is that these two features give Bancor a great opportunity. Since DeFi 2.0 failed, new protocols and DAOs are looking for places to provide liquidity in a safe and profitable way so that their users can trade tokens easily. With some of the laws that are in place, it is actually risky and maybe even illegal for a protocol to sell half of their supply and then use the capital to buy Ethereum in order to give Uniswap liquidity. With single-sided staking, a DAO or another project can just give Bancor their own protocol minted tokens and never have to worry about selling their tokens to provide liquidity. Since Bancor gives the other side its BNT, it can give the same amount of capital in their own native token. Right now, more than 30 DAO treasuries have agreed to give liquidity to Bancor and have already gotten the benefits. Polygon, Yearn, KeeperDAO, Bondbridge, and Engine are some of them. I think we'll see the effects of this idea in the future when many DAOs use Bancor to make their tokens liquid and earn positive protected yield on their treasury funds. So that's pretty much how Bancor works. Now let's talk about the specifics of tokenomics. First of all, BNT itself is not a governance token. To be able to vote in the Bancor DAO, you have to actually stake BNT in Bancor. When you stake your BNT tokens, you get VBNT, which is the governance token for Bancor. One could say that Bancor is governed by a proof-of-stake system. This means that all voters not only have exposure to BNT, but also have skin in the game as liquidity providers on the protocol. In other words, everyone who votes in the Bancor DAO is both a holder of BNT and a provider of liquidity. Unlike holders of DEX tokens, holders of Uniswap tokens who want to vote on changes don't have to be liquidity providers. This basically means that everyone who wants BNT will vote in a way that will probably help all the other liquidity providers. When it comes to Uniswap holders though, they'll only vote in favor of the Uni token and not in favor of any particular liquidity providers. More complicated than that is how BNT's tokenomics work. I'm not going to dig into it here, but one developer told me that BNT serves as an index of its deepest pools because all tokens must pair with BNT. Users may be concerned about the protocol's single-sided liquidity system, which constantly mints more BNT to match the stakes going into it. But that's alright because the protocol minted BNT is used to earn even more of the protocol, and both of these are eventually burned. The revenue mechanism that Bancor uses to collect tokens to pay its insurance program is also worth mentioning. In general, the tokenomics of BNT are challenging to explain, but Bancor is a fascinating project with many original concepts, as I've already stated. That's about all I have to say about Bancor in this video. Anyway, thanks so much for watching this video. I hope you've enjoyed it. Please support our channel by clicking like and subscribe if you haven't already. I really hope you learned something, and I hope to see you in our next video.